Tries to paddle it through again. Oliver straight ahead. Just got some numbers at it and made the job a little bit too difficult. Sard to McNeese. The call from McGrath when searching back to Hurley. It's slow and just hopeful more than anything. Jetta back to Brayshaw. He can wind up. Wiedemann wanted it long in the square, but it's a more subtle kick into the 50. And Hannon takes the mark.
Gee, you just hate seeing players turn their back on play. Even when you're in a goal-kicking position that you should kick, you'd want to go back and kick it, because if you've taught someone that's down in the goal square, on that occasion Wiedemann was. Now, when he eventually turns around, he did find Dom Tyson directly in front, so he's done well to pass it off to a player in a better position. But you've got to have a look as soon as you take the football.
Been a very solid performance by the Demons. Tyson's played his part. He's looking for a goal to go with it.
And then you never pass it to the blokes that can't kick.
He's still looking.
You torch them.
Jason's warming up.
Back into play, Zaharakis. Inside the last 5 minutes.
You look at the Essendon players that are out injured too. I mean, Fantasia is one they're missing.
He's an important player for them.
Yeah. Obviously, you think Bellchambers will probably come back in at some stage, but other than that, there's not a lot there.
No easy games either, Hutto, so just gets tougher and tougher. Big Max is celebrating another day out.
Going high, inside 50. Big pack of players. No one waiting down for Melbourne at the back, and Zaharakis will give it to Much. He'll be very proud of his day today, and he can be pleased with it as McDonald tipping Woody takes a one-hander. Goes in towards Parrish, who marks in front of Jones.
We've got a record in the offing too. Max scored 23 outs to advantage. His record's 25, so that's what we can push for over the next 3.5 minutes.
Much to Danaher. Danaher long in towards full forward. Maybe something here. A belated one. Yes, it is. Green picks himself up. Smith, I should say, picks himself up. Devon Smith kicked a goal in the first quarter. He's got his second. And Essendon's 8th. But a long way behind the Demons, 15-12.
He's another who started this game on fire, Devon Smith. I think he's been a terrific pickup for the Bombers, but I suspect, like a few of them, have maybe hit the brick wall a little bit. And when you're starting to fall behind Jace, the brick wall gets bigger and thicker. And they've been chasing tails since half-time.
He said in that interview at half-time that he's feeling better than he did on Wednesday. I'm not sure if he does now or not. 43 points the margin. 3.5 to go. Not the ideal match for Matty Leuenberger to come back in and play his first game of the year against Gawn. Enjoy this a bit more, pitted against Wiedemann. Harms had an excellent day. Guelphy.
There's been a couple of great debuts too. Well, I say great. 20 possessions to Kobe Much, which is 20 touches in your first.
He's looked composed, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't panic with the footy. And then Charlie Spargo's had 18 and
loved what he'd done.
Kicked 2 goals and looks like the tougher and meaner it is, the better he likes it.
Danaher with a charge. McDonald tipping Woody cashing in late here, but not completely cashing in. Just gets it behind for that one. Another poster.
Hibbert brings it back. Gawn just leaves it for his smaller teammate in Christian Salem.
Yeah, protected his back well, actually. Gawn. The kick was intended for him, but he realised that he was in position to just shield Salem and let him take an uncontested mark.
A great call, because most people would have looked at it and thought Max was well within his rights to go for it, but did the right thing.
Lewis goes forward of the wing. McNeese close to the boundary line. Guelphy keeps it in. Sard's away. High ball. Stringer says, get out of my way. And he just uses strength to take the mark. And he'll go back. He's kicked a couple. One in the second, one in the third.
He's been more of the focal point than Joe Danaher today.
He's looked good one-on-one, but they haven't found enough opportunities like that.
And a bit like Joe, the defenders would be saying every time I'm with him I'm nervous, but it hasn't been often enough.
9 goals so far this season, Stringer. This for his 3rd today, and no problems there. One in the 2nd, one in the 3rd, and now that one in game number 95.
Hasn't had a lot of the ball, just the 9 possessions to Jake Stringer, but on a lean day for Essendon's forwards, certainly the ball hasn't come down in great fashion, in particular in the second half. To have 3 goals next to his name has been more than serviceable.
Yeah, he's been far from the worst. In fact, he's been one of their better players, I think. And to do that to Michael Hibbert, who's had a pretty good afternoon, is a good response. Late goals to Stringer and Smith. Gets it back under 40.
Maxi Gawn ranked the #1 player clearly on the ground. Not getting a chance in the ruck to add to his hit out to advantage total at the moment. Tyson for Jones. Been very good all day, whether it was defensively early or particularly in this second half. Ambrose tried to make the play. Jackson Merritt back to Ambrose again, and eventually got it under his control. McDonald-Tip and Woody arcing around into the middle. He sees Parrish. It's touched.
Oh,
busy intersection there. Vince infringes. Advantage. Is it going to be full advantage? Smith to Goddard. And he's going to go back and have a shot from a set shot.
You have to have Ambrose in their best shoe as well. I think the job he's done.
Not sure how much more of a chance Zaha Rakis is to kick a goal from here than Goddard was from where he...
I would have thought Goddard's one of their best kicks. He would have kicked from 50 on a slight angle. This is only 5 metres closer at best, and certainly 45-degree angle makes it a bit tougher.
Let's see how he fares. Now getting some late ones, and that's worked its way back as well. 3 in a row.
Yeah, I was just getting back to Ambrose. The job he's done on Jesse Hogan, I think, has been fantastic. It was an inspired choice, really, because you would have looked at Hurley and you would have looked at Hooker. Well done there to Darcy Parish too. But athletically, Ambrose could go with Hogan and has been able to match him in the one-on-ones.
It's interesting watching that contest in the middle. I reckon in the old days, Bernie Vince would have run through him and turned his lights out. And he was a little bit caught between a rock and a hard place, as in, how hard do I go? I got to make some sort of contest, but I don't want to kill him and get myself 6 weeks.
The Bombers putting some respectability on the scoreboard in the dying stages of this game. John Worsfold will be bitterly disappointed with this, particularly after Anzac Day. Back to the drawing board as the D's go charging forward again, up towards half forward, and this young man has been so impressive.
Well, the story of the day, Sandy, is how bad they've been at centre bounce clearance work with a dominant ruckman. They are 16-4 out of the centre today. That is as comprehensive a pounding as you're likely to get.
Exactly right.
And that's full credit to the coaching staff and Max and their midfield who went to work on it through the week.
Can Bailey Fritsch finish off a big day? He can. He splits the middle. Bailey Fritsch, this exciting young player for Melbourne, has finished with 3 goals. And Melbourne answer any challenge that Essendon can throw at them. 16-12 to 10-12. Once again, out to a 36-point margin with just seconds remaining.
Saw him burst onto the scenes in the JLT Community Series, and all of a sudden he looked like a serious threat up forward, and he's carried it into the season. Looks a natural footballer, good user of the footy, knows where the goals are, can take a mark. He's been a great addition to the side.
There's a live ladder. That's the top half. This is where the two teams playing today. Melbourne not moving many positions up, but certainly in terms of how close they are to those above, it's a huge difference to be sitting 3 and 3 compared to 2 and 4. As the siren sounds, it was a blast the second half for the Demons. The sort of performance that can change a season. And they've got home by 36 points over the Bombers, whom there is still very many questions to be asked and answered in the rounds ahead. But well done to the D's.